What's up, y'all? What is going on? I have not talked to y'all in, I don't know, it's been a couple months.
Though I'm missing you.
It's been a few months, actually, since I've been on for Moments with God. But I am excited. I'm so excited to be back here with you again under the same circumstances, which means that God is not finished with Moments with God. We are beginning season 2 of this project, and gosh, I don't know what God is up to, y'all, but I'm just committed to saying whatever it is that He wants me to say in this season. And so before I even get into whatever we'll talk about, because I'm really not sure, I do want to just let you know that I have had time to reflect. I have had time to think about some of the episodes that we had in season 1. And y'all, I know it blessed you, because I talked to a lot of you in real time as soon as, a lot of those episodes went up. But it has literally blessed me as I listen to episodes that He used me to simply speak to others, and now using me to speak back to myself. Some of the things, the accounts that I share with you guys, dealing with honor, dealing with having the audacity to ask. What's another? The other one that smacked me straight right there. Forgiveness. He has literally dealt with me on higher levels and greater degree since publishing those episodes. And so I'm happy to say that, because I was again tested by the very thing that I was testifying about. God has been faithful, and He's continued to fortify me. He's continued to strengthen me. He's continued to liberate me. He's continued to just be with me along the way, and challenging me to really just die to myself even the more. And when I say die to myself, like my will, my flesh, that Michaela, that put a little stank on it when I feel like I can, or whatever the situation might be. But He's literally been like, just dealing with those areas of me, and just making me something that He can glory in. Just reflect when people experience me, that if they get a little glimpse of Him in that particular act, or a little glimpse of Him in whatever conversations that I might be, privileged to have to speak on His behalf. So I'm thankful that I've taken this time really just to get to know myself even the more, and to hear what God has to say about where I'm located and the work that I'm doing and what's to come. So that's that piece. And today I just wanted to simply remind you of the promises of God. The promises of God. God is so serious about holding up His end of the deal that He did this thing called made promises.
One eternity later.
What's up? Okay, so long story short, my phone did something funny. I think it died that day, but I'm back. So the funny thing is, I still have the same burden to share the same message, because that's still what God is saying concerning Moments with God. So I think the last thing that I mentioned was that I wanted to talk a little bit about the promises of God. And it's so interesting that today was the day that I finally clicked record, because it hasn't been an easy day, honestly. It's just been challenging almost on every end. But what I believe, even at the end of whatever situations or conditions that we find ourselves in, it really doesn't matter that we have to experience those kinds of things, whether it be people or frustrations inwardly or whatever, all that. At the end of all of that, we still have to simply decide what side of the fence that we want to be on. Am I going to lean to what God says concerning me, or am I going to rest in all of these feelings, emotions, and whatever things have presented themselves for me in this moment? And my posture is simply, I believe God. It doesn't mean that I feel what God is saying. I believe God. I just believe God. And exercising my faith in that manner just pushes me closer to those promises of what He's saying in this time and in this season. When I really started looking at, the whole Jeremiah thing, how we just repeat that over and over and over again, and I'm like, okay, that sounds really hopeful. Many other plans I have, plans to prosper you, and before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you, and it's like, wow, okay. God already, he already had a plan. But it's so much deeper than that. It's literally not about the fact that he knew the entire plans before, we knew ourselves. Y'all, it was an entire plan that has already played out in the heavens before we entered the earth realm. That's completely different. I'm not even sure if we can handle talking about that in this moment, but to know that I've already accomplished everything that I need to accomplish in my lifetime, and that I'm simply replaying it and playing it out physically right now, says that whatever I'm dealing with in this moment, I've already overcome it. So positioning myself to look at it or have the perspective, okay, so that may not make sense to some. So what I'm referring to is the part of that scripture where, and it's countless examples that we may or may not get into at some point, probably not right now. But what I'm referring to is when Jeremiah is having this conversation with God, and he tells him that before I formed you in your mother's womb, in other words, before you became fleshly, before you became the person, the persona, the personality in the actual earth through your mother's birth canal, I already knew you. I already knew you. We've met. We have history. We've done a lot of things together before. That wasn't just for Jeremiah, I don't believe. I believe that he has already formed each and every one of us. Every spirit that has been created has already been existing and playing out what we're now experiencing in the heavens. As it is in heaven, so shall it be in the earth. It's just a matter of simply pulling things down that I've already actually done and accomplished and been the victor over. Even in this moment of frustration and whatever I got going on, this is a replay. Like, he playing it back so that I can actually play it out in the earth realm. Not that it's an actual new thing. That's what it means when it says there is nothing new under the sun, because the sun is under the heavens, and the heavens has already done everything that we can ever experience. Not that new innovations and things won't happen in our historic lifetime here on the earth. Yeah, there will be some new phenomenons, but that's not what he's saying. I do not believe. And so, if I know what the end is, then I kind of have to align myself from the end and move to what I call the present time right here in 2022. If I look at it from the end goal to where I am now, I already know this is really slight work, honestly. It just doesn't feel like it because I'm in the heat of it. I'm in a valley experience concerning what that promise might look like, but the promise has already been redeemed because he died for me, which means that I have the right to access these things that he has for me. And so that's the hope that all of us really should have as believers, as Christians, as joint heirs with Jesus, when he did what he did for us, that allowed us to be able to have these things that God has promised us. It allows us to have these things that he's promised us. And so that's my hope. That's my personal inspiration. That's my encouragement for myself. And it's applicable, I feel, for anyone. If you understand what God has said concerning you, then you move from that place to where you currently are, from there back. If you're not sure, it's simple. Ask. And I promise he'll show you, because you're now available to him and you want what he wants concerning you, and you really want to help advance the kingdom. And so why would he withhold that from you? He's not just talking about materialistic things, but it's really talking about the true gifts of what he's called us to do. I'm not going to withhold that from you. And all those other things, after you done seeking first the kingdom and all the other things, the stuff that we think he won't withhold from us, that's not what he's talking about. That's the stuff that comes easy. You go do my work, and it's almost like a benefits package. I have to show proof that you work for me. I have to take care of you. You don't even have to mention that in prayer. Oh, I want a Bentley. That's cool if you specifically want to ask, just because you want for God to know exactly what is on your heart. That is nice. But the reality is, you really don't have to ask God for tangible things like that. My prayer is that I accomplish all the work that you put in my hands, that I save the souls that you have assigned for me to reach through your name. that I do whatever it is you want me to do concerning the kingdom and all those other things. I'm asking for strategy. How you want me to complete this work? I'm asking for tenacity. How much endurance do I need in order to complete this work? I'm asking for laser beam focus so that I can get my work done, canceling out the noise, be more disciplined so that I can handle whatever it is that you want me to do. That's what my prayer is. And if I'm seeking ye first the kingdom to get that stuff done, all them other things, my benefits, my dental plan, my vision plan, my medical plan, and my children or kids to be covered, or whoever your what they call it, the people that you add on, right? All of that stuff will be added. It's the evidence of you being in him. That's the evidence that I am his. I don't even have to worry about it. So that's really not the promise. The promise is being able to do the things that he asks us to do. And those are the things that I try to keep my mind, my heart, and my spirit centered on. That I'm all right in that place. And so it's all good. It's really all good at the end of the day. That's really just all that I wanted to share with you guys, was to just, try to stay focused on what God is saying concerning you, and see it from the perspective that it is already accomplished, that it is already done, that you already are the victor. There's nothing that you can't do with him, because you literally have already done it in the spirit realm, and we're simply experiencing the exact same thing here in the earth realm now. And so how can I lose if I already know that I win in him? So that's my little piece, y'all. And so I pray it blesses you, and leave some comments, leave some questions. Most of y'all will hit me up and so forth, I know, but I just wanted to meet with you here, and here we go. We'll be back again. I love y'all. Take care.